Hi, hello everyone. Welcome once again to A.O.S Abroad. Thank you very, very much for joining today's episode, and I really do appreciate everyone for coming on board. I don't take this for granted. And today we have the episode 53 of Canada immigration, or let me say episode 53 of One Step Towards Your Canada Immigration. And today there is a topic that is quite interesting, which we'll be taking, which is centered on business immigration. Do you understand? Business immigration. Many people may not really know much about that pathway or how people actually come into Canada through that particular pathway. So today we are going to be explaining programs, what you as a person can actually do to come into Canada successfully. You understand? And perhaps if you're a business person, even better, what can you do to, you understand, get the opportunity converse and communicate well with you. Please, are you hearing me very well now? Is it much better right now? I just got that message that the audio is not working. Are you hearing the audio right now from YouTube? If you are listening in, if the audio is quite clear, if you can hear me audibly right now. Okay. So please, Mrs. Munira Momo, can you hear me right now? I think she joined. Um, but I think the audio is blinking right now, so it should be working fine, right? So okay, let's move on. We're talking about why does the business immigration approach, why does the business immigration route, why does it really matter? Do you understand? Why does it really matter? Why do you need to focus on the business immigration route? The reason being that, as we said, okay, Mrs. Monera now says, yes, I can hear you now. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. Okay, so let's move on. I think we have that settled. Okay, so we said, why does it matter? We said, while many immigrants still focus or still choose the study to work to permanent residence route or the visit visa to asylum route to Canada, more people are discovering faster, more suitable, and empowering options, empowering what immigration pathways, especially those in demand specialized skills and entrepreneurial ambitions. Do you understand? We said for sectors like analytics, artificial intelligence, and telecommunications, Canada offers business and immigration programs that can open the doors of what the doors to permanent residency from the day one you land in Canada. You can actually become permanent resident from the day one you become you actually come into Canada. And if you want to know more, you can also click on that link, which is the talk to travel expert about your own particular scenario. What do you want to come to Canada to do? How do you want to work into Canada, or how do you want to work on your immigration to come into Canada as a business, you understand, person? Now, mind you, this means that if you are coming into Canada as an entrepreneur, if you are coming into Canada as a business person, it means that you don't need to spend years in school paying high tuition fees. Because, of course, instead of the tuition fees you pay with the thousands of dollars or the tens of thousands of dollars or the tens of millions of naira that you would spend, you can use that same money to actually set up a business, or that same money to buy a business in Canada. And with that business that you have in Canada, of course, a business is to make money, right? So you have a better chance of making money when you land in Canada as an entrepreneur than someone that is still going to school to spend money in the colleges or give universities money without the person actually getting something in return apart from the certificate, which is like paper. It is not money, right? So apart from that, coming into Canada as a business person or as an entrepreneur, it actually helps you to have no restrictions on work type or your location. Many of the programs we are going to be introducing to you today, they are not restricted on the kind of works you can do, on the kind of place or the province or the city you can be in order to practice those occupations, or in order to, you understand, set up businesses in those locations. Because of course, a person that has money will be more respected than someone, or a person that has idea basically will be more respected than someone that just has money, you understand, and maybe for instance is just paying the school, which is colleges, to study. If you have a business idea that Canada sees that it is revolutionary, that Canada sees that they can actually learn from, they can gain from, you can basically help them in their economy, you have no restrictions. You would have no restrictions whatsoever to do that kind of business, you understand, in Canada. Now, another thing is immediate ability to run your own business and hire both locally or internationally. Now, I remember when I came into Canada in the year 2023, I didn't even focus strictly on looking for jobs. Why? Because I had a business in Nigeria that I had started already. And that was the business I wanted to basically continue with when I landed in Canada. So what I just did was to focus on what I had, which was the skills that I had to actually set up that business. And that was what I started. That was what I did when I landed in Canada. I didn't have to focus on, you understand, doing something that I am not set out to do, or going to go and look for a job that I'm not willing to, you understand, work in. So you can run your own business from Canada by virtue of these programs. And you can also hire either locally if you want to hire Canadians or people that are in Canada, like Canadian residents, or you can hire internationally. You understand? There was one time we were talking about some of the people that we have hired in our, you understand, organization. Some are in Nigeria. Do you understand? Some are even in India, without us focusing on, you understand, if we want to hire someone from Canada, of course we can hire someone from Canada, because we know that yes, in Canada too, there are skilled people that can actually work. So as a business person, as an entrepreneur, when you're coming into Canada, you have that liberty to run your business and to also hire locally or internationally. Okay, thank you very much, Pratham Narang. I see you liking our live on TikTok. Now, another reason why you can actually come into Canada as an entrepreneur, as a business person, is that the pathway allows you to come with your family, which I know many people want to actually do. Many people want to come with their spouses, many people want to come with their common law partners, many people want to come with their children, their sons and daughters. And of course, this pathway allows you to come into Canada to settle with your family and to enjoy the full rights from the very start. Some people may not really understand the full right. Full right basically means you coming into Canada and being seen as a Canadian, or being seen as a permanent resident already. And let me break that down. There are some things students cannot do. You understand? Students, for instance, international students coming into Canada, they can't work full time for 2, 3, 4 jobs at the same time legally. Some people do it illegally, oh, you understand? But instead of you basically cheating the system, or you understand, covering yourself, making sure that they don't know what you are doing and you are hiding to do things. The and of course, when you are even working 2, 3 jobs, many times we see that people that do those kind of jobs, students that do those kind of jobs, they get exploited. And that's why many of them actually even do those jobs, because they know if they are to make, or if they are to work in a particular organization, they are not going to be paid what they are worth. You understand? If, for instance, a job is $17 per hour, they may be giving a student $9 per hour, because they know, you understand, you are doing something illegal to start with. Instead of you working part-time, you are working full-time during work business, during school hours or school periods. You understand? School session. So they know that yes, you too, you do not want the government to know, and they will be exploiting you whilst you are working your ass off every day, every night. We know a lot of students that are doing morning shift, afternoon shift, midnight shift. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really pay, it doesn't cut it, because they are just working to make the boss rich. You understand? So if you are coming as an entrepreneur, you get that full right to be able to work with any employer, to be able to work with 2, 3, 4 more employers legally, without anybody saying, hey, Sky, hey, stop it, hey, do all this. No, because your status in Canada is a status that allows you, you understand, to do anything, anytime, you understand, legally, without you actually having to worry about the implications. Do you understand? Apart from work as well, you'll be able to also get benefits. There are some of us, I was still talking to one of my friends in Canada, and she was telling me that ever since she has landed, the government have been supporting her rent. You understand? Like they have been literally paying some certain amount of rent for her every single month. And this is someone that she has a business now, of course. She has even, but she said before she had a business, she even talked about the business as well. She said she was working, you understand, in an organization. And because she was working in an organization, the money she was collecting was not really much. They were supporting her, the Canadian government were supporting her, even though in Ontario, yeah, us, we don't have that kind of rental assistance. Or let me say we have it. It's not that we may not have, we have it, but it's not accessible to everybody. You understand? But in our own province, In Manitoba, she's collecting rental assistance because, and maybe because again, maybe someone like me, I don't have like children, like how she has children and she has a family she has to take care of. But she is being given rental assistance. And now that she's even setting up a business, she told me through what a program known as Manitoba Start. The Manitoba Start program is basically funding a business, giving her money to run her business. How sweet can that be? But if you are a student, you can't get opportunity to get that. If you are a temporary foreign worker, you can't have that. If you are a visitor, you cannot have that kind of opportunity. Those opportunities are for permanent residents and citizens in Canada, you understand, and those that are willing to actually do things in Canada. So why does Canada really want skilled entrepreneurs? Because sometimes you have to know the rationale. Canada are not just giving free money, they are giving you money because of something. You understand? Like the person of Mrs. Joy Ophelia Bovi, you can also check her on TikTok, or you understand, on YouTube and likes. She's a licensed realtor in Canada, in Manitoba precisely. One of our very good people. Sometimes I even always invite her to come and talk. In the last live session where we were talking about why people need to start businesses in Canada, do you understand? We're kind of asking the question: why does Canada really need? Why do they want skilled entrepreneurs? Why? Why? Canada's economy is facing labor shortages. You have to understand. And a lot of times we always hear this term that yes, they are facing labor shortages, they are facing, but what can you do as an immigrant to actually assist in that field? What can you do as an immigrant to help the Canadian economy so that you are going to be someone that you are not just going to be looked upon as another immigrant, as a U2 immigrant. You will be looked upon as someone that is necessary, someone that is required, someone that is that is in demand, not only for your skills, but in demand for your business as well. You understand? So Canada is currently facing labor shortages. And if you look at the link on the YouTube, if you can just click on the link on the YouTube, you understand, through the LinkedIn newsletter article that we wrote, we said Canada's economy also sheds over 40,000 jobs in the month of July 2025. What do we mean by they shed over 40,000 jobs? On the CBC Marketplace website, what they explained was that due to the US Canada tariffs, you understand, when Donald Trump was elected and you understand the tariffs and everything started, because of that and all these sanctions and economic issues between US and Canada, now people have lost jobs. And it's very easy for you to, if you just browse it, you just browse maybe like Microsoft or Google, you see that they are retrenching staffs. You understand? We can say some is due to the tariffs, some is also due to AI, artificial intelligence, coming on board and taking up the jobs that people are meant to do. You understand? So particularly, these labor shortages have been felt mostly in tech fields, in analytics fields, and in innovation sectors. You understand? In innovation sectors where they feel that robots can do the job now, where they feel that, oh, one AI tool, ChatGPT or Gemini can do the job now, instead of actually requiring to hire some. So, like I do tell people, when you say you want to start looking for jobs, the kind of jobs you may even be looking for is already obsolete. The kind of jobs you may say you are looking for are jobs that, you understand, they don't need to necessarily spend so much to employ you, spend so much to sponsor you to come into Canada, spend so much to not even help you to settle down well in Canada, because they know that there are some technological tools that are available right now that are doing those jobs. So the question is, how can you define and differentiate yourself? How can you show that you are better off, you understand, than someone that is just looking for a job? The way you can do that is through entrepreneurship. The government is not just seeking employees. They are not just seeking people that will be looking for a job all around. Now they are actively encouraging business owners and innovators who can create jobs, because they know they are losing jobs based on artificial intelligence. They know they are losing jobs based on the US Canada tariff. You understand? They know that they are losing jobs based on what is happening in the world at large now. So they are now actively encouraging business owners. There are some venture capitalists, which we'll still talk about, that are basically giving people money to set up businesses. There are some, you understand, organizations that would give you money to buy a business in Canada. There are some that will help you with your business plan. There are some, there are some. I'm part of an organization, the what they call it now, CAPIC, the Canadian Association of Professional Immigration Consultants. And sometimes when they talk about the opportunities that are available for people to set up businesses, for opportunities that are available for people to buy businesses, small businesses. So it's not compulsory you're going to be buying business like Google, who has that billion of dollars. It's not. You understand? Businesses like that you buy maybe like $25,000, $30,000, or if you're even good in negotiating, because of course you are buying a business from a business owner. Do you understand? You are not buying a business from the government of Canada. Do you understand? You are not buying a business from immigration office. You are buying a business from a small business owner. I, for instance, I own a business in Canada, even though I'm not yet ready to sell my business. But if I'm ready to sell my business, you may buy my business. Do you understand? So small business owners like that are in Canada, that are situated in Canada, there are some people that are buying those businesses. Do you understand? In order to use those businesses to immigrate to Canada. So the question is, some people will say, okay, IELTS, they are writing, they not pass. Okay, French exam, they don't know how to make it. Do you have the opportunity? Do you have the funding to actually buy business? Not jobs. You understand? Jobs in Canada, with all those jobs that they always sell, it is illegal. It is illegal to buy jobs in Canada. Some people do it. You understand? To come into Canada. And as I always say, when there is demand, there will always be a supply. You understand? There's demand. That's why there's supply for all those kind of illicit things. But if you want something that is legal, that even the government can actually approve, or will actually approve you to, you understand, to do legally, is to buy a business. You understand? To buy a business or to set up a business. Someone is saying Duo of Canada. What do you mean by Duo of Canada? G Day on TikTok. So if you want something that is legal, that you can, there are some people. There's one woman that I saw on YouTube that she bought a business in Canada, and that one business she bought has now spiraled to about two, three businesses she bought in Canada as well when she landed, and she's now using it to make more than even what she used to buy that business. So it's like an investment, basically. It's an investment. It's not waste of money, because of course, if you buy a restaurant, for instance, you buy a restaurant, you employ people. You buy a restaurant, and the beautiful thing about some of these programs that we have seen is that they say that job will serve as your own sponsorship. You don't understand? It should be people have been looking for job sponsorship, that okay, no, let me look for job, or A.O.S, help me to look for job. If you help me to look for job, we'll use that job to. There are some ways now people are using businesses that they bought to, you understand, help themselves, sponsor themselves to come into Canada. Because now, instead of you waiting for an employer to first of all do interview for you, waiting for an employer to do what they call it, to get your application, for you to submit Canadian style resume, for you to do cover letter, for you to all those jargons. You understand? Because thousands of people are doing it, so you may not be that special. But if you set up to start your own business or to buy a Canadian business, self-employed business, you can be the person that will sponsor yourself to come into Canada. And there are many of these programs that we'll talk about that will give you work permit based on the business you started. You understand? That okay, whilst you're working on your permanent residence, so first get work permit, come into the country, start running your own business first. Be making money in your own business first. Do you understand? Before you what? Before you actually become a permanent resident. And the beauty is, it's not only you that will come. If you have family, you can come with your spouse. In fact, your spouse too can also be working your business. Do you understand? You can come with your children. Your children too, apart from them being in your business or being with you in your country, in the country, they can start going to schools. Do you understand? We'll still talk about that, but I'm just letting you know. Okay, G Day is saying, I've been a follower since Instagram days, some 2 to 3 years back. Oh, okay. G Day, thanks for being there. He said, even the group on WhatsApp. Oh, G Day, okay, that's nice. Thank you for always following us, and now you're on TikTok. So you have been on Instagram, you have been on WhatsApp, now you're on TikTok. So the question is, how have you benefited from us? Have you benefited from uh actually being a follower? Have you also used what you've learned to work on your own immigration, either through the DIY, either through the do-it-yourself package, or are you also reaching out to us to assist you? You understand, together with our immigration partners. So let's move on. We said, let me just reiterate. I was explaining a lot, but let me reiterate what I said. The government is not just seeking employees. They are not just seeking people that will be going to look for job in McDonald's, looking for job in Dollarama, in Tim Hortons, in other places. No, the government of Canada is now actively encouraging business owners and innovators who can create jobs, boost exports. If you are your own Igbo person, Igbo man, you have that sense to say, okay, you want to be doing import and export, import and export. Do you understand? There are some companies now that sometimes I do always go to African store very close to me, African store, and I see how people are importing goods from Nigeria to, because of course I'm their customer now. I'm going there to buy gari. You understand? I'm going there to buy semo. I'm going there to buy pounded yam. You understand? Amala, all those things. But if you think deeply, these are immigrants from Nigeria as well, or from other African countries that have set up businesses. Do you understand? They have set up businesses in Canada that are importing those things for people like us who cannot go into those businesses because we are not yet willing to go into it, because myself, I'm already thinking of those kind of things. But we can always, because there would always be a need. Just like I said, if there's a demand, the basic law of economics is if there's a demand, there will always be a supply. So if there are demands, which of course there are demands for African foods, there are demands of, you understand, African hairdressing, because of course there's one of my friends too that she's still a student though, but she knows how to make hair. She makes hair for my common law partner. She's getting paid to make hair for my common law partner. So it may not be only, well, okay, you go into now, okay, say the contract. Now I've talked about someone that has an African-based business that needs a location. This second person doesn't have location. You understand? The hairdresser goes from one house to another to make dress, from one store to another, from one school to another, you understand, hostel to another to make hair, and she's making her money. You understand? She's making her money. Anytime she doesn't want to go and work, you understand, the restaurant she's working, she goes and make hair, and she make $20, $40, $50, depending on how the hair is. Women have their different type of hair. She makes her money, she pockets it, and she's having fun. Do you understand? So now, if you want to also export, okay, we're talking about exporting from Canada to other countries, you can do it. If you want to import from your own country like Nigeria into Canada, Canada are supporting it now, and they are helping you strengthen the Canada's competitive advantage. Okay, G-Day is saying on TikTok again is that you have always been a blessing and an eye opener to do many things. And again too. Oh, okay. Thank you very much, G-Day. Really appreciate that on TikTok. So let's move on. We said if you already have a business, because some people they have businesses in Nigeria, but they want to come into Canada now, which you want to come into Canada, there is no problem with that. Me too, I had a business in Canada. In Nigeria, I wanted to come into Canada. No problem with that. But don't leave your business. Some people even go and sell their business. Or some people even say, okay, they want to shut down their business because they want to come into Canada. The world has gone global. The world has gone digital. You understand? There are a lot of things now that you can bring into the country. So far, it is not something illegal, of course. You understand? You can bring it into the country and you will be in a stronger position, a much more better position than many temporary workers. You understand? Who Canada and going to one school that they will not be, you understand, making money. Rather, they will be paying money. You understand? So because you can apply under programs which are designed for what? Entrepreneurs, which are designed for innovators and self-employed professionals. So if you are an entrepreneur, you have a business idea, you have not launched, Canada is looking for you. If you are an innovator, you have created something and you need support for that thing you created, Canada is looking for you. Or you're even a self-employed employer and professional. You just have your own business. It's just one business you have. You are the only one in that business. You don't even have staff already. Canada is already looking for you. So the question is, what are now the top programs for skilled entrepreneurs? What are the top programs for people that want to come into Canada that have what it takes or that have something to give, that are not just willing to get spoon-fed. They are not just waiting to get spoon-fed by other companies. They want to actually be responsible to help the labor shortages in Canada. Okay, I have another question from TikTok. Kugba Yigbe Gbemisola Esther is asking, good afternoon, bro. Can I start my PR processes? I'm a student here and I will finish up soon. You're already late, safe. You are already late, safe. And that is one of the biggest mistakes international students make in Canada. You are late. You understand? In starting your PR process. Why are you late? You understand? There are some, see, people always feel when you come into Canada and you are studying, even though, yes, you told them that you came to study, and yes, you have to focus on study. You understand? But when you are wanting to stay here permanently, I do always tell people, don't make this mistake. There was one person that came for a clarity call to see me, and she's an international student, and she's telling me her program is expiring, I've been ending this August. That now she now wants to be looking for PR pathways. And I'm telling you, you are meant to have started your PR pathway 1 year ago, 2 years ago, as soon as you landed. Because time travels fast, time goes fast. You understand? If you are not actively working on your PR, you may have started working on your PR 1 year ago, but it will only just materialize when you finish now and you become a PR and it's easily. But now that you are starting now that if you are graduating this August, for instance, you cannot most likely become a PR this August, especially if you have not submitted your application. You understand? Because at least it will still take 6 months. At least at least it will take 6 months. Or if you are fast, it will take 4 months, 5 months, depending on if you have all your documents right. Do you understand? Oh, okay. Bimsola is saying April. Fine. So if it is April, I'm happy. At least I'm happy that you still have time. But of course, you don't have much time. If you look at August, this August. So let's count it for you. August, September, October. No, let me even remove August. September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. So you have 8 months. Beautiful. I'm even happy. Yes, it's more than 6 months. It's more than, so that's a good one. So start now. Don't wait. My sister, don't wait for your program to end before. If you want to stay here permanently, I always tell people, it's based on what you say that we will use to suggest what you should do. If you really want to stay here back permanently, if you want that opportunity to not just give them free money, give Canada free money, give the colleges or the universities free money and go back to your country with nothing apart from your certificate, which is paper. And we have some colleges now giving PDF. So with all the 20,000, 30,000 you are paying, it's PDF they are giving you. Or paper. So people say, no, you are learning skills. I say, no, it's true, you learn skills. But that is why those skills quickly start using it even before you graduate, so that you benefit from it. You understand? So, okay. Bemisola is saying, what are the documents? There are a lot of documents, my sister. How can I start up? The best way you can start up is go on our website, click on the bio, on our TikTok, aos.name.ng. There is a detailed webinar which we have done, which has the templates, the samples of the documents you need, everything you need to get started. If you want to become a permanent resident of Canada, we have given, this is just one pathway or some pathways we are talking about for those who have businesses. But if you want to come, or if you are already in Canada and you want to stay back permanently, we have given a lot of pathways you can use. We have given the ones that are centered on those that are outside Canada and those that are inside Canada. So go on that link, aos.name.ng, or just go on our TikTok bio, click on the link there. Those documents have been listed there. You will basically be able to download them It's a free. You download the list of documents. You watch the video to know the steps you need to follow. Do you understand? All those things are there. PDF stands for, what is PDF, sef? So someone is asking, what is PDF? That is Stella Omiyera. What is PDF, sef? Me, I don't know that thing. But PDF is like a document. You understand? Let me see if I can browse it out. Funny enough, I don't know the meaning of PDF. Okay, PDF is portable document format. Portable document format. Okay, you said schools, someone said, you said schools are giving PDF. Yes, schools are giving PDF. PDF is portable document format. You understand? For those who graduated, if you graduated and you want to collect a certificate, especially if you graduated online, now they are giving you documents, PDF, that you say you can print off for your own class. If you know, there are some people like who have we have heard that not even heard, they have seen that some people they cannot come to Canada. Maybe their visa got denied, that kind of thing, and they say, okay, instead of your visa, you have two options. The school can send you a digital certificate. Once they use the word digital certificate, it's PDF, portable document format, PDF. They give you PDF, or they tell you that okay, use Korea and send your documents to your home country to receive the paper copy. But what we were just trying to say in essence is that you get your certificate. You don't get money when you finish school. They don't give you your money back. You understand? You don't make money from the school you actually pay a tuition fee for. That's what we were trying to explain when we were saying okay, you were saying why Stella Omeyer. I've given you the reason. Some may not be in Canada physically. You understand? And they will give them PDF. They will send PDF to them. In some schools that I've read, it's not. I don't think it's all schools. Especially daytime students may not get PDF. They will get their own paper certificates when they are graduating. But we are talking about people that were not able to attend maybe their, you understand, their graduation, or maybe they are not given visa, so they have to just get the PDF. All right. Thank you for that. So Bimisola said, I have not done my CELPIP exam. Well, if you want to do the CELPIP exam, if you have not done it, start working on it. The faster you start, the better for you. And if you want assistance on how to actually train for the exam, whether it be CELPIP, IELTS, or PTE core exam, you understand, go on our website, aosacademy.com, to actually sign up for an online training where we'll train you, we'll give you the materials and past questions, study materials that would help you actually get well trained on the exam before you go take it. So and we have virtual coaches that would help you, that would train you, that will make sure you also take the mock exam. There's a mock exam that you take before you go write the real exam, so that you're not just going to waste money and at the end of the day you'll not get your desired score. You'll be able to prepare well, and before you actually go, you'll be much more confident about the exam. So he said it's okay, nothing wrong with that. All you need is a certificate if they can verify your certificate. Of course, of course. Now let's move on. What are the top programs of skilled entrepreneurs? The top program of skill, mind you, this live session that we are having today, we are talking about those that want to come into Canada and make money in Canada. Those that want to use their immigration as a pathway for revenue generation. You understand? We're not talking about those, because it was the questions that alluded to that. We're not talking about those that want to come into Canada and gain a skill. You understand? Or go to school. I'm not talking about that. We're talking about those that want to come into Canada and make money. Do you understand? Those are the people we are talking about in this live session. So Stella Omeria said correct, not 9 to 5 people. Of course, not 9 to 5 people. We are talking about those that are business minded, those that are not using money to play. You understand? Because students, they use money to play, basically. You get, they use money. If you have the money, I do tell people, if you have the money to spend for school, in fact, I will never tell you not to use it, especially when you need the certificate. No problem, use it. Okay, Stella says, yeah, you have sense. Thank you very much. I will not tell you not to use it. Spend the money. It's your money. It's your brother money. I'll be your uncle money. I'll be your daddy money. Spend it. You understand? But I'm talking about those that don't have the money. And if you don't have the money, but you still want to come to Canada, you can actually use the money to make more money. That's what I'm trying to explain to you here. You don't have the money to come to Canada, but you want to come to Canada. But instead of you using the money you go and borrow, you understand? Or the money you use to that you got from selling your properties, your house, your lands, your mansion, you understand, your car, instead of using those monies to actually go and give one school, you understand, one college, one university, and at the end of the day you get paper. Some people will say this guy is not serious. See, me, I like to be blunt. You understand? I just like to be blunt. Instead of you using those monies to go and collect paper, or as I said, PDF. Some people say, okay, no, it's not only paper, it's not only PDF. You also get skills. I say no problem. If it is, see, skills are potential revenue generators. But if you have not yet started using those skills to generate money, it's still useless, as far as I know. Because many of us went to school in Nigeria too. You understand? I knew of my linguistics candidates or colleagues that till today they have the skill of linguistics. They know all these linguistics terms and terminologies and jargons, but they are not using it to make money. Best they got from school was the degree, was the certificate, was the paper. You understand? Or the PDF. So I am talking to those that are particular about making their money work for them. You want to come into Canada, there is no issue with you coming to Canada. In fact, it is advisable for you to come into Canada because Canada is a land of opportunities. But how will you get those opportunities is what we are talking about now. Do you understand? So the top programs for skilled entrepreneurs. Oh, okay. Stella Omiyera is saying you hardly see Chinese people working 9 to 5 jobs. They have businesses here in Canada. God bless you. God bless you, Sister Stella. I really appreciate that sense of reasoning. You know, funny enough, I go to Chinese stores. I go to Asian stores to buy my fish, to buy, you understand, meat and things like that. And many times you see these people. If you go to Toronto, you go to places like Richmond, you go to places like Markham, go to Scarborough, you will see sensible Chinese stores. In fact, you could have seen Chinese language itself that they write. You know that this one was for Chinese people. They are starting businesses. They are making money. And these are the same Chinese people that I go to their stores. I speak English to them. Ta 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 is what they are saying. You that you go school, you that you have all those diplomas, you have those degrees, those certificates plenty. You speak English like wetin I no know. You do not have job. But those that is ta 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 they are speaking, they cannot, you understand? You know, sometimes I will go to their stores and I will ask them that, okay, this fish, oh, this one, what's the kilo? What's the kilo? They'll be saying, They'll be using sign language to tell me what to do. But I cannot blame them because they are making the money. You understand? When they came in, they set up businesses. Do you know what it takes to set up business in Canada? Do you know what it takes to set up a business like that in Canada? Some people may not even have those capitals to set up businesses like that in Canada. But I do tell people sometimes you don't even need much. It's not about the money, it's about the mindset. It's not about the money, it's about the what? The mindset. When I came into Canada, the first business I started up in 2023, it was $60. I used to start it. $60. I used to register my business in Canada. $60. In that time, Nigerian currency, I don't think it was up to 50,000 naira. Nigerian currency that time, because it was $700, 700 naira that the Nigerian currency was. You understand? Like the exchange rate. That's the word. The exchange rate that time was $700, 700 naira to $1. So it was like 42,000. Good. It was like 42,000 that I spent to set up business in Canada, though it was an online business. But what I'm trying to tell you is you have to reason. reason and understand that there are better opportunities than those study visa. There are better opportunities than those work visa that people want to kill themselves for, visit visa that they want to kill themselves for. Eh? Okay. Gbemisola is saying, Stella Omera, seriously, and we Nigerians are working for them. Good. You are working for them because you are the one that you are going to look for a job that is not lost. You are the one going to look for a job that did not lost. Do you understand? The job that they will, at the end of the day, people will not be investing, they will come online. You don't like the people you see on TikTok, you see on YouTube, they'll be saying there's exploitation in the sector, there is killer nepotism, there is racism, there is all this. You see all those kind of drama, all those kind of work, talks, everything. When you see, in my own religion, they say the hand that is down, you understand? The hand that is down, or rather, the hand that is up, that is giving, is better than the hand that is down. In fact, in the explanation of that, they broadened it that it's not only about a matter of a beggar and a giver. No, it is also a matter of an entrepreneur, because it's an entrepreneur that will give something, and it is an employee, you understand, a staff that will collect something. Sometimes you being the boss, you being someone that is actually helping people, actively contributing, because as a business person you have to give value before you can collect money. So it's not that you are begging, it is what you are rendering a service to collect something. But those employees, you can't at the end of the day, you can't, whether you invest for a business or not, you do anything for a business, they are the ones that employed you, they are the ones that will decide how much you earn, they are the ones that will decide your timing, that okay, come to work this time, go out of, okay, if you say okay you cannot do it, you cannot, no problem, leave the organization. Do you understand? So is that Stella is saying, my, they don't even understand English, but they employ Chinese people and Nigerians as security. Those are the gig jobs that they will be telling a lot of newcomers to go and do. I remember when I first came to Canada in the year 2023, you will see family members. Truthfully, these family members, they mean good for you, they mean well for you, but you see family members and friends, and they'll be telling you that okay, oh, now that you're in Canada, you need to actually, you understand, bills are not waiting, you need to you need to, you understand, level up, you need to do something, so go and get this job. You understand? That time they were telling me because I can speak French, I should get customer service job. You understand? That oh, you'll be making more than someone that is just, you understand, using English. At a point, they will now even tell me that okay, one of my partner, she can go and be doing caregiver job. At a point too, they were even telling me that okay, now that you're doing customer service job, you can go for construction job. And you understand all those kind of things that at the end of the day, I am not cut out for. I didn't do it in my country. I wasn't a customer service in my country. I wasn't a caregiver in my country. I did not do construction in my country. I will now come to another man's country. You understand? I'll be doing that all on the virtue of oh, okay, bills are piling. All on the virtue of okay, I don't want to. You understand? All those nonsensical jobs. People are not complaining that they are security job, for instance. We have many people. Do you know that there's one of our colleagues, or I would say family friend? This person is a physician. She's not physician. She's a what they call it. I've forgotten the pharmacist. But this is the person that she cannot practice her pharmacy, which is another issue in Canada. You understand that. But she cannot practice because she doesn't have the license yet. Instead of her pursuing that one, she's going to go and do security job. Okay, I know that there are some times that you need to start from somewhere. I understand. But sometimes I have that vision that okay, oh, this thing, oh, you know, many of them now not want to do anything. Even if is even that okay, she do security for some time. I say okay, oh, this security job, I already understand the looks and cranny of it. I've understand the loopholes and everything. Let me set up my own security firm. It's even going to be better. But many of them, they are just only about shit. They don't always look at the business and understand that okay, what is so special about this security job? Me that I even have BSc, I have BG, can I go into the security job business? You understand? Can I set up something and compete with these people? Some people don't have that entrepreneurial mindset, which I understand. It's not everybody that will have that entrepreneurial mindset. But don't complain. That is it. Because If you are not willing to set up a business, be willing to abide with what is available in that sector. Do you understand? So Stella Omiyera is still saying opening a business is still $65 a year. Thank you. I don't know the province you are, but in the province of Ontario, it's $60. It's $60. You understand? It's not easy, especially a self-employed business, a business name registration. It was $60 I spent 2023 when I landed. So it is not even a biggie. It is not an issue. You can set it up. In fact, the last time, one other time when we were having a live session where I talked about a Nigerian just like me that is still in Nigeria. We are still working on his permanent residence, what they call it. But he already has a business in Canada now. And the beauty of it now is that he is in Nigeria, but he is now making money with the business he sets up in Canada, which is now using the revenue from that business to now work on his own immigration. I don't know if you understand. let me break it down again. This, my friend, he is a Nigerian. He is still in Nigeria. We set up his business last year. I think it was around September last year. His business will be soon 1 year now. We set up his business in that time. It was not even serious. He said, immigration, I will do it later. Let me first make money. Sharp guy. You understand? That time he was getting married. Now he's even married. He has a kid now. Do you know that he set up a business in Canada while still being in Nigeria? We assisted him to work on the business registration and things like that. Now he is running adverts online. You understand? He's running some digital marketing online. He is getting businesses. You understand? Because his own business is a kind of B2B business. He is getting businesses to pay him on a monthly basis to help them with their business, and he is making Canadian dollars. You understand? From Nigeria, without still being in Nigeria, without still being in Canada. The question is, what do you have to give? The skills, all the things that you learn. Some people will be complaining that they have spent so much on travel. They have done so much on travel. Do you know that you can set up businesses in Canada without being physically present in Canada and making money in Canada? Legally, not illegally. Because there are some people that they don't have business in. I remember when I was in Nigeria and I wanted to start writing books, you understand, through Amazon. And Amazon told me I needed to have some business accounts in the USA to be able to get money from Amazon. And like play, I went on Payoneer website. And through Payoneer, you understand, I set up US-based accounts. I set up UK-based accounts. Until today, those accounts are still running, still making money, even though now that I'm in Canada, I just changed the US and the UK, you understand, bank accounts to the Canadian account. But I'm still making money in Amazon, through Amazon right now. Do you understand? And let's say I was in Nigeria, that is how I could have been making the money from Amazon without still living in the US. Those are the opportunities that are abound that many people don't know. You understand? So Stella Omiyera is still saying, and you don't need to be a PR holder to open a business. All you need is a driver's license. Is it? Very good. You don't need it, but how many people know this? That is the question. How many people know that you don't need to be a PR holder before? Okay, you are even talking about a PR holder. You are talking about driver's license, perhaps the one in Canada. I have mentioned now someone that is in Nigeria that already has a business in Canada. He is not a PR holder. He is not a temporary foreign worker. He is not a student in Canada. He is not a visitor in Canada. He is not an asylum seeker in Canada. And he's already making money in Canada while still being in Nigeria. You understand? So, okay, Stella is saying again, I worked in aviation back home. I had to write high school diploma to get back to aviation. Imagine. So, let's talk about the top programs, because the reason why we were mentioning all this is to make you all see the benefits, to make you all see the advantages of you working and, you understand, setting up something in Canada. Let's now look, how can you come into Canada as an entrepreneur? If you have skills or businesses like Mubanga, Mubanga was the person that reached out to me on LinkedIn and said that he wants to come. If I remember, let's go back a little. You understand? In the message, he said, "Hi Azeez, hope you are well. Want to connect with you so that I can see how I can leverage my analytics, my AI, and telecommunication skills and relocate to Canada with my own business." And that was what really brought this idea up that I should talk about today. Do you understand? So, if you want to be like Mubanga as well, there are some Canadian premium travel packages. I call them premium travel packages, and you can click on the link, you understand, to go through the Canadian premium travel packages, because these are packages that they are not just meant for the layman. They are not just meant for anybody anyhow. They are meant for people that are serious about coming into Canada and making money as they are coming into Canada. They are not just meant for someone that is looking for a job, or someone that is looking for admission or study permits. Or visiting. We're not talking about those kind of people. If you want to work with us, you understand, we have the premium travel packages. We have also partnered with our licensed immigration consultant, which I've talked about severally on this live session, History Immigration, and also our Canadian lawyer, who all will assist you to set up a business in Canada. They will assist you to make sure, and soon as itself, we are going to be getting a chartered accountant as well, who are going to be helping with the books, because some of the people that we have helped to create businesses in Canada too, they need, you understand, accountants, professional accountants who can assist them with, you understand, their bookkeeping in Canada. So if you want to come into Canada as an entrepreneur, you have a business that you can use to come into Canada as an entrepreneur. There are five different programs that you could use to come into Canada. And these programs, they have different, of course, they have different requirements. But understand it, if you want to come into Canada, these five, you can select out of these five programs. I will tell you the one that I used to come into Canada and the ones that you too can use to come into Canada. Number one is the startup visa program, the SUV visa. The startup visa program, you understand, is for innovators. It's not just for anybody. If you are innovative in nature, you are someone that you have something to give, you are someone that Canada really needs, you have some ideas you want to start up. Do you understand? This program is for you. Though you have to understand, the program takes long. It takes long. It takes about 52 months now, currently, to process it. So it may not be for everybody, especially someone that is rushing to come into Canada. If you are rushing to come to that, okay, is 6 months thing you want to, is 1 year thing you want to, it may not be for you. Do you understand? Because of course, a normal year is 12 months. So if we look at 52 months, that's like more than 4 years for you to do this startup, you understand, visa. But basically, it is for innovators who can secure support from a designated Canadian organization, whether be it a venture capital fund, you understand, people that need people to support them. You need people to pay for your funding. I always tell people, you have to be willing to use or to abide with one of these things. If you don't have money, you are looking for someone to sponsor you. You have to be able to wait. You cannot be rushing someone that wants to favor you. You understand? So venture capital funds that will help you with funding, or angel investor groups that will put money into your idea, you understand, or business incubator groups that will support you and train you. You have to wait for them. You understand? And this is ideal for artificial intelligence, data analytics field, and telecom based solutions with global potential. That's number one. Number two program is the what? Is the self-employed persons program. I remember when I wanted to come into Canada, this was one of the programs I was looking into, because it had my own thing in, you understand, my own kind of, it talked to my own kind of person. Though the program is paused now, you understand. We still hope that it's going to actually get open soonest, but it's paused now. They are not getting any applicants for it now. You understand? And its own processing time is about 60 months as well. That's about 5 years, yes. So that takes long. But it's for professionals in the cultural, artistic, or athletic fields who can contribute to what significantly to the Canada's economy and what to the Canada's culture. Okay, we have a question from Instagram by Adekab1. How much is it conferencing? How much is it conference and processing? Well, I don't really understand that question. I don't. The ones that the programs we are mentioning, we are giving you the timelines. I don't understand your own question. How much is it conference and processing? I don't know. Conference is a different pathway. Is a different thing entirely. If you want to come for a conference, you have to pay for the conference. There are different conferences and different prices based on the what they call it, the field of study. It is a conference for tech. Some people, and they are different. Some conferences may be free, some may charge you $10, $20, 40, some may be up to $200. It depends. I don't know the questions you are really asking. Now, the third kind of pathway you can use to come into Canada as a business person is the owner operator LMIA pathway. The owner operator LMIA pathway. Now, I realized during my research that many people don't know about this pathway. This is a pathway that many people don't really talk about, but it is a pathway that if you are really serious with coming into Canada and you have what it takes, you have the skills, you have the business acumen you can use to come into Canada. This is a pathway that allows you to buy a Canadian business or to establish a Canadian business. And you first of all receive a work permit to first come into Canada first. You understand? Start working in your business, in your own business, so not another person's business. It allows you to work in your own business, and it has a pathway to permanent residence. So you don't need to go to school for it. Do you understand? You first start with work permit, maybe for a year or two, and once your permanent residency is secured, then you now transition into permanent residency. And this suits what telecom entrepreneurs who want full-time or full control over their operations. It's not only telecom operators. It was because the questioner that was asking the question, Mr. Mubanga, you understand, from South Africa, talked about his own fields or skills in telecommunications. If you have other things too, it also applies to other entrepreneurs. Now, number four is the provincial nominee programs, PNP entrepreneur streams. Now, this is very important because many people, again, as I have come to understand, always underestimate the PNP pathways. The PNP pathways is one of the most effective ways to come into Canada without any issue. Do you understand? Provinces like British Columbia, the provinces like Ontario and Alberta have targeted business immigration streams for tech entrepreneurs. If you are a tech entrepreneur or even another form of entrepreneur, you understand, you can come into Canada through what? Through the business or the entrepreneur streams of these programs. And many of them, they require lower investment if targeting smaller cities. Now, what it means is if you are not coming to a city like Toronto in Ontario, if you are going to smaller cities like Sudbury, like Thunder Bay, like you understand, all those small cities, they can reduce the amount of money that you spend on that program for you to come into Canada. You understand? And the acceptability rate will be more because you are willing to go to all those like rural areas or those suburban areas. Do you understand? Now, because it's provincial nominee programs, it varies. Some may take 8 months, some may take 7 months, some may even take more months for you to process. But the PNP pathways is the pathway I use to come into Canada. You understand? So if you want to come to Canada, you can also use it. Man like Hayo, thank you for liking our live on TikTok. Now, the last pathway we are going to be talking about is the what? Is the intra-company transfer. ICT, intra-company transfer. Now, this is golden. This one, if you fall under the eligibility criteria, you can really use it, and it can help not only you, it can help your family member. Not only you, you can also come and get that PR status. Do you understand? Now, the intra-company transfer works like this. If you already run a business abroad, you have a business in Nigeria, for instance, but you want to come into Canada, you don't know the pathway to follow. This pathway can be of assistance to you. You understand? that your business that you run abroad already, or you can open a Canadian branch of that business in Canada, and you now use that business to transfer yourself as an executive or a specialist in that business. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Let me give you an example. I, for instance, I have a business in Nigeria, you understand, with my partners known as A.O.S Academy, and I want to come into Canada. I can set up a branch of that business, A.O.S Academy, in Canada. And with that business, with the details of that business, I say, okay, now I want to start my immigration process as an executive, as someone that is in charge of that new business that I've created. Mind you, I told you, there's one of our friends that currently has a business in Canada. Do you understand? He currently has a business in Canada, even whilst he is still in Nigeria. And he has a business in Nigeria. Now, one thing he can do is that he can use the business that he has started in Canada, even though he's not yet physically present in Canada. He can use that business to say, okay, I now want to transfer myself from the company in Nigeria to the company in Canada that I have in Canada, and be able to use that company to show that, yes, I am sponsoring myself. I'm doing like self-sponsorship. You understand? And this is perfect for analytics fields or AI-based firms serving North American clients. So if you are serving North American clients, or even other clients from other European or other countries, but you also have North American desire to break into the system, you can as well actually use that to come into, you understand, the country. Okay, Isco Banks on TikTok is saying thief people. I don't know, TIF. Is that another way they say? I mean, is that another word that we don't know about? TIF, thief people. I don't know. Maybe you should explain what you mean. Okay. Isco Bank is saying Naso una dey take thief from people. Okay, I think that is pidgin. I don't know who is thieving from you. Have they collected your money before that you say they are thieving from you? Because I don't understand your own mentality. But of course, we would always see some set of people like this online. Okay, so perfect for analytics or AI-based firms serving North American clients, the intra-company transfer, right? Now, key advantages. What are the key advantages of these entrepreneur streams over student or temporary workers route? Number one, you have full freedom to work and full freedom for your business. You have the total control of your business. So you don't depend on any employer. You don't depend on any student visa. Neither do you depend on any job descriptions. Job restrictions rather. Two, you also have stronger financial position because, of course, you build and you own a business in Canada. Instead of you spending 40K, 20K per year on tuition, you understand? Some people are much more willing to pay a school 20,000 to 40,000 Canadian dollars per year for a course, but they are not willing to use that same money to actually set up a business in Canada that would make them more money, of course, if they actually succeed with it. Now, family benefits. As I said before, and I reiterate, you can even use these entrepreneurship streams to bring your family into Canada. In other words, your spouse can also work by getting an open work permit by virtue of that job to work in that job or another company, or even become permanent resident directly when they land. And your children can also study in Canada for free in public schools by virtue of what? By virtue of those entrepreneurship programs. Faster PR processing. Many business streams that we have lead to directly giving you what? The permanent residency without years of uncertainty. Some streams lead to permanent residency within 12 to 18 months, like the provincial nominee programs, which I'll still talk about for my own particularly. Now, global credibility. Operating a Canadian business, you understand, operating basically your entrepreneurship pursuit in Canada, it boosts your business reputation internationally. I remember when I was in Nigeria and I was, you understand, having my business in Nigeria, in Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria, precisely. The fact that I was in Nigeria, I was disadvantaged because people don't take it serious when they say that, okay, it's third world country you are. But when you are in Canada, by virtue of you being in Canada already, having headquarters in Canada, you stand a better chance than in other, you understand, in other third world countries. So let's talk about Mubanga's situation as an example. The guy that reached out and said he wants to come into Canada with his business. With his expertise in AI, analytics, and telecommunications, Mubanga could actually partner with a Canadian incubator to launch an AI-driven telecom analytics solution. Or you can also apply for the startup visa using the Canadian venture capital backing. In other words, the venture capital to help him if he doesn't have money, you understand, to help him start up his business. Or three, he can make use of the ICT route if his current business abroad has solid revenues and operations. Now, by leveraging skills plus also a strong business plan aligned with Canada's innovation priorities, relocation could be both faster for him and more secure for him and his family than what temporary permits. Now, but it's not just about entry. Entrepreneurship streams, business streams, is not just about you entering into the country. It's about your readiness. Because many underestimate the market research, the need for market research, the need for compliance and capital requirements, which are all needed to succeed as a business immigrant. So before you make the move for any program at all, for any entrepreneurship program, make sure that you conduct a competitor and demand analysis for your service that you want to do in Canada. Understand the Canadian regulations in your field. For example, for Mubanga, for instance, in his telecommunications field, he may need the CRTC license to be able to perform in that niche. He also needs to build partnerships and get letters of intent from Canadian clients to be sure that if he comes into Canada, he will see clients that are willing to pay him to actually run his business, right? He also needs to have capital reserves for at least 12 to 18 months of operation. It's just like similar to proof of funds. He needs to have money that will be using to set the business up, to start the operations before he starts, you understand, making money. Now let's talk about A.O.S and his businesses as a successful case study. Now, I, for instance, Azeez Olayiwaju, which I'm widely known as A.O.S, my own relocation story exemplifies how immigrants can bypass the often challenging student or temporary worker route by entering Canada as entrepreneurs. Do you understand? For me, I applied under this French-speaking PNP stream of Ontario. I got nominated by the province and I became a permanent resident on the first day I landed in Canada with my common law partner. And arriving in the country, I had with me my clear business plan. I had done my market research to see the business that I was going to do and how it would thrive in Canada. And I have diversified my own portfolio of the ventures ideas that I added that I had that time. That okay, I set up a language school. I had an exam preparation center. You understand? I had things that I had set up that I wanted to start and launch in Canada. So with that, I leveraged my own international business experience from Nigeria. The experience I had in Nigeria, setting up a language school, you understand, and being profitable in it. I used that to establish my own profitable enterprise in Canada. You understand? While still maintaining my own global operations. Because even though I was in Canada, even though I landed in Canada, I still serve my own market in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Benin, and all other countries, right? So, and over the years, through my three Canadian companies, which I've set up right now, spanning from book publishing, because I'm also a publisher, I'm a writer, and I'm a best-selling author on Amazon, through my online education, my travel services, my digital marketing, and business consulting firms. I have also worked for myself from the very beginning of the time, from the very first time I landed in Canada in 2023. I set up the businesses. I have been working for myself ever since. I have made my own money. You understand? I have not gone to anybody to ask for money. I have created job opportunities for locals, people that are in Canada just like me, like permanent residents. You understand? Like my common law partner. I have also created job opportunities for foreign workers. Do you understand? Like for instance, I talked about people in India that are working with me, people in Nigeria that are working with me. They are not necessarily even in Canada yet. And also newcomers alike, people that are still coming into Canada that are working with me. You understand? In other words, I have also been actively contributing to the Canadian economy from the very first day that I landed in Canada. Do you get? So instead of facing limited work rights, complaining, you understand, that okay, there are no jobs in Canada. Okay, I'm trying to look for a job, they did not give me a job, or financial strains. I have always enjoyed the full privilege of being a permanent resident, you understand, including business ownership and the flexibility and access to national grants and loan programs supporting entrepreneurs alongside with selling my books, my online courses, and travel packages worldwide. So if you also want to come into Canada, understand that my own journey has demonstrated that with strategic preparation, with a strong branding and targeted networking, immigrants can also enter Canada in a position of strength. So you can avoid the debt trap that okay, you go and collect money from banks to come and school, and after schooling now you are now being pushed to the wall to get money by all means. You understand? You can avoid exploitation. Going to work, you heard the situation of what they call it now, Esther, right? Or I think another person saying that Chinese are always setting up businesses. They now employ Nigerians. They employ, you understand, Indians, other people as well as security. You understand? And you that you came from your home country, you have bachelors, you have everything, all those DDD, PhD, MED, EED, all those this, OND, HNT, all those this, you have everything. But you are still being exploited in your workplace, and this same person that will come on Instagram and start complaining. So instead of you doing that, avoid it. You understand? Avoid the uncertainty that often accompanies study permits or low skilled work visas, because of course not every student that comes into Canada will become permanent residents. Not every worker, temporary foreign worker that works in Canada will get that permanent resident status. Some of them will still be deported back basically to their home country. Not every visitor that comes here that will be able to actually get their asylum status. They will still, many of them will still get deported. You understand? So today, A.O.S is not only a business leader. I've not just been able to lead my business, but I'm also a mentor to other aspiring immigrant entrepreneurs just like me, showing that the entrepreneurial pathway is both achievable and sustainable. So if you also want to work with us for your own business success, you can click on the link. So what are my closing thoughts? Now, Mubanga's message to me is not just a reminder to myself, but a reminder to you too, that if you have high value skills and if you have a business vision, Canada is not just a place for you to come and work like a slave. You understand? It's a place for you to build something, to lead, and to also thrive and make money for yourself. So if you are a skilled professional running your own business, don't limit yourself to job hunting or studying in Canada. Don't limit yourself. Instead, position yourself as a business owner who creates jobs, not just someone looking for one. You understand? So rather than taking the long and expensive road of studying, of temporary work, consider whether you can position yourself to arrive in Canada as a full-fledged entrepreneur, so that way you are not just moving, you are also expanding your influence globally. So, and in 2025 and above and beyond, Canada is actively rewarding the bold step, those that are innovative and those that are entrepreneurial. If you really do have a vision, Canada can be that your what? Can be your launch pad. So, what do you expect next in this series? Because we have started a series of business entrepreneurship now, or business immigration. So, in the next series of this LinkedIn newsletter, I would also be breaking down the exact investment amount you need to set up, the timelines. How long can you expect to come into Canada? What are the approval rates for each business immigration option you have in the year 2025. And what else do you need to know? One, for those who would really like to get started on something, you can purchase a copy of my book, which is Funding Your Move Abroad: How to Plan Well, Make Money, and Migrate to Canada Successfully. It's already available in hard copy and audiobook, so you can get it on Amazon. But if you are unable to buy it on Amazon, you can get it on seller.com/fund-move-abroad, and that is available in multiple African currencies. You can also join our free weekly relocation live sessions in collaboration with myself on YouTube. So you can go on YouTube and click on A.O.S Abroad and actually subscribe to the channel. Likewise, we are going to also be introducing, or we will be launching rather, our immigration memoir very, very soon. So you can also grab your own pre-order copy of We Were Homeless in Canada, for the stories of our 30 days on Ontario streets, the life lessons that we learned, and the childbirth that actually changed everything. We would also talk about, or would also and tell you to shop the A.O.S online course collection, featuring some of our favorite language learning for those of you that want to actually start your permanent residency processing. You can also shop our A.O.S online course on aosacademy.com. You understand, for exam preparation trainings, like the person that says she wants to start self-pip training, and other international career and business development trainings are also on our website, aosacademy.com. So also, lastly, you can also join our free Telegram group, A.O.S Relocation 360, if you have not yet done that already. How will you get access to all this? How will you get the links? Just go on LinkedIn. You can type on LinkedIn Relocation 360, or you can go on our what do you call it now? YouTube, A.O.S Abroad YouTube channel, and this particular live session, you'll be able to see the full video, and you can also click on the link to get redirected to the LinkedIn newsletter article. So what's the next step, basically? Do you have any questions? If you have any questions, let's chat in the comment section or DMs. Share your thoughts and your questions in the comments. Oh, okay. Bimisola says yes, thank you. You're welcome. So, and if you're interested in more insights about Canadian immigration, subscribe to this particular newsletter. As I said, visit LinkedIn, and go just type on the search bar Relocation 360 by A.O.S. You understand? You can visit there for more tips, more guides, and updates on the pathway to Canadian permanent residence. So, to your international immigration and your international success, A.O.S. So, thank you very much, everyone. We hope you did get a lot of value from all what we did today. If you have any questions, even after this live session, make sure to drop it on our DM. Send us a DM or drop it on the comment section. We'll do justice to replying to it anytime we actually get it. So if we don't have any questions again, then we'll actually call it a day. Thank you very much, everyone, once again for joining. And don't forget, every week, at least, we come on once every week, at least once every week, to talk about trending topics, to discuss about all what you need to know about immigration and how you can actually benefit from the immigration pathways that are currently available for immigrants. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let more and more people have access to this, just like you also have. And we do hope to see you in our next live sessions. Don't forget that you can go on our bio. Just click on the link on our bio, and you'll be directed to where to learn about permanent residence, aos.name.ng. That's our main website. You understand? So you can go on that website to learn more about permanent residence, to learn how to get started, because we heard some people saying, how can I get started with my permanent residence? I'm in Canada already as a student. How can I get started? Okay, I'm still out of Canada. How can I become a permanent resident? Go on that link on our bio, aos.name.ng. That's the first link you are going to see, whether on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube. You understand? So just go on that link, click on it, and you directly get access to our website that would talk. We spent a lot of time. We have a lot of webinars we used to explain step-by-step guide, all what you need, all the documentations you also need are very well listed there. And even we have testimonials and client reviews of those that have also, you understand, gone through the process just like you. So if you have any questions later on, just reach out to us, drop a comment, drop a DM, and we would respond to you on any of those platforms. So, without wasting much time, thank you once again for joining, and for everyone that joined, we really appreciate everyone, and we hope to see you in our next live session. So, thank you very much, everyone, once again, and do have a lovely day ahead. Bye for now. Au revoir.